Similar means same shape but different size. Right? So if we look here, we can see that it is the same shape, the same rhombus, but this one's bigger, right? Okay, so what we want to do is we want to find the corresponding angles and sides. So this could be represented as LOVE, and then this is the congruent sign for MA, or not congruent, that's the similar sign. Okay, so if we look here, we have an angle L, an angle M. Make sure you add the angle sign there. We have angle O, an angle A. We have V matches with T. And we have E matches with H. Right, so they correspond to a specific angle. And then we can look at the sides. So we have MA is going to correspond with LO. So that line on top of it shows that it's a side, right? So corresponding sides. We have MALO, we have AT and OV, ATOV. Make sure it's in the right order. So see how we did M to A? Make sure we do L to O. TH and VE. And then finally HM and EL. So that's how we do corresponding angles and corresponding sides. Okay, so now we want to look at the math, right? If I have LO is 3 and EL is 2, and over here I have MA is X and HM is 4. So we want to do a scale factor. So what we want to do is we want to look at the sides that we know. All right, so we know that we have this and this. So we know our scale factor is going to be 4 over 2, which equals 2. Or you could do the other way around. You could do 2 over 4. These are our scale factors, right? We take one side, divide it by the other side. So now we want to find our x, right? So we're back to solving for x, right? So we can set up a proportion like we have been. So we have 2 over 4 equals 3 over x. So make sure you do, right, small, big, and then small, big, right? So make sure that the big is always on the bottom, right? This 4 is on the bottom and the x is on the bottom. And then we can just cross multiply like we have been, our butterfly method. So we have 2 times x equals 3 times 4. So we get 2x equals 12. Then we divide both sides by 2 because we're trying to solve for x. We're trying to get the numbers away from x. And we end up getting x equals 6. All right, let's look at a different shape, right? So we can use this side and this side because those both have numbers, right? We can't use this side right here because ER doesn't have a number. And even though there's a 4 here, there's no number here. So we want to use this AS and EL side. And then we want to look at the pink side with the X. So we're going to set up this proportion. So we have a scale factor. So we're going to do 21 over 7 or 3. Or you could do 1/3, right? You could have done 7 over 21. Sorry, that's a 1. Okay. So our scale factor is 3. And then we're going to set up our proportion. So you could do small or big. So let's do 7 over 21 equals x over 24. You could do the other way around. It doesn't always have to be small on top and big on bottom. You could do 21 over 7 equals 24 over x. You just have to make sure that it's the same, right? Just make sure that it's always the big on the top together or the big on the bottom together. But it can't be like big here, big here. They have to always be on the same. All right, let's do our cross multiplication. I don't have that much room. We have 7 times 24 equals 21 times x. 7 times 24 using a calculator is going to be, actually I might just do it on the side. 24 times 7, 7 times 4 is 28, 7 times 2 is 14, 15, 16, 168. 168 equals 21x. And then we divide by 21. We get 168 divided by 21. Oh, well, that's not very helpful. I'm pretty sure it's 8. So x equals 8, right? So if we know these two sides and this side, we can find this side, which is 8, using our scale factor. Another thing that you can do is you can just visualize it, right? This to this is times 3, right? Times our scale factor. So if we want to go this to this, we also need times 3. Or if we go the other way, right? 24, if we go 21 to 7, if we go this way, it's divided by 3. Right? So we could go this way, we could do divided by 3. Right? So 24 divided by 3 is 8. So there's a few ways to do this, but the proportion one is the one that we've been doing. All right. One more weird shape. Okay, so this one, you can have similar figures that rotate, right? So let's make a note there. Similar figures can rotate. All right, so you can see here, this one rotated. It went like this way. So this pointy thing, we want to make sure that we're marking the right sides. So we have this orange side, and this orange side is a long pointy one. Then let's just go clockwise. So we have that tip right there. We have the next flat part. We're going down to this side. And then finally, we have that side. Okay? So let's look and see what we have. We're trying to find the purple. And we have both the reds and the oranges. So we could use either of them. So let's do the orange, right? So we have scale factor is going to be 9 over 12 or 12 over 9, right? I'm using the orange guys right now. This simplifies dividing them both by 3. We get 3 over 4 or 4 over 3. So that is our scale factor. And then we want to set up our proportion. So we're trying to find x, right? So let's use these 4. So let's do small over big. So 9 over 12 equals 3 over x. And then we cross multiply. 12 times 3 equals 9 times x. 12 times 3 is 36 equals 9x. Divide by 9. 36 divided by 9 is x equals 4. All right, so that is it. The big thing to remember is making sure you use the angles, right? So if there's an angle here, your answer should have an angle. If there's a line here, your answer should have a line with the letters. So you want to be able to recognize which sides match with their similar friend, and then you're going to use scale factors and proportions to solve the missing side.